Goals. What are goals? What are dreams? What are anything that we want in life? Why do we want it? Why do we feel propelled to do more? And I truly believe it's because when we're born, we're meant to do more. There's a saying that when the pain of not changing becomes greater than the pain of the fear of not changing, you'll change. Again, why do we have goals? Because we're meant to do more. And if you're watching this and you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know, I've got goals, I've got dreams, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. And this is a little more somber of a tone compared to some of my other videos, but I've really been reflecting today on what's getting ready to come up for me. I'm getting ready to go to Chicago in less than 24 hours. I'm going to be speaking to one of the biggest children's literature organizations in the country. I've been working for 14 years to get to this moment. And I'm humble. I'm humble as can be about this. Because I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. You, me, we're not promised anything. When people have started finding out that I was going to Chicago and that I was going to be speaking to members of the SCBWI, people started cheering me on. People started saying, great, that's awesome. You're really becoming something. You're really taking off. But the truth is, it's taken 14 years to get here. And you know, they call people an overnight success. I consider myself an over-decade success. A decade plus 4 years, actually. And it's not easy, guys. It's hard. And in this video, I'll lay it out because I really wanna inspire somebody to not give up, especially if you're thinking of giving up on something that you've spent years in. And to do that, I want to explain sort of what I went through in hopes of maybe connecting with you on that level. Life in general has not been easy. Life in general is not easy. But if you want to make it through it, you will make it through it. I was born, and by the time I was 2 years old, my parents divorced. I have no memory of my parents together. I grew up depressed as a child. I can't lie about it. I did. My mindset was not where it is now. I let everything bother me. I let everything get me down. I had no positive feelings. When I was 14 and I was a freshman in high school, I had a grandmother pass away on my birthday. When I first started writing, 4 months into writing my first book, one of my grandfathers died on Christmas Eve. If that wasn't hard enough, a week later on New Year's, my other grandpa passed away. I lost my brother 6 months before his 30th birthday, almost 5 years ago, on Thanksgiving. I know what it's like to lose a child. I lost a daughter that I'll never hold, I'll never walk down the aisle. I've been bankrupt. I've been foreclosed. I've had cars repossessed while I was in the middle of writing a book one time. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to sleep in a car all night long, if you call that sleeping, because that's one of the most painful things in the world. I know what it's like to be divorced. I know what it's like to have no money. I know what it's like to go hungry. I know what it's like to sleep on a hardwood floor because you don't have a bed to sleep on. And as a writer, your whole goal as a writer is to find a literary agent. A literary agent who will take your book and they'll put it to publishers, and they'll find a publisher who likes your work, and it'll give you a chance to make something of your life professionally. And on 2 occasions, after lots and lots of hard work, on 2 separate occasions, I had New York City literary agencies contact me and say they were interested in my work. Okay, now understand this. What I wanted was happening. It was literally happening. And both times, right before I was about to sign a contract with these well-established, respectable agencies, they walked away and changed their mind. One of those times was back before I had really changed my mindset, and I was still really struggling with myself, I gotta admit it, and it was 6 months before I could write again. I was devastated. The second one, I had changed my mindset, and I let it just go, because I wasn't going to let it stop me. You can't let it stop you. I've been at this for 14 years. 14 years. I've gone through everything that I just mentioned to, in less than 24 hours, I will be going to the 3rd largest city in the United States of America, speaking to one of the largest children's literature groups in probably the world, because I make it happen. Because I find a way to make it stick. Because as Ray Lewis, a former Baltimore Raven football player, said, I got pissed off for greatness. Because I'm sick and tired of mediocre. And that's why I'm making this video, is I want you to get sick and tired of mediocre. I want you to want more. Because it's not always about what you think you're doing. It's about getting out there and just hammering it. I've had people tell me that I'm no good. I've had people tell me I'm wasting my time. I have gone broke investing in myself. But you know what? I'm going to get there. My goal, I want to go up there, put on my presentation, and I want somebody to come up there and say, I'd like to talk to you more later. I want someone else to be inspired and say, you know what? I think I want to represent this young man. I want to represent this guy. He's done so much work. I'm inspired. I want to take him on as a client. I want to help him find an agent. But you know what? Even if that doesn't happen, the next day I get up and I go back to work. Tomorrow night is it's Thursday, September 14th, tomorrow night. I will climb up on the roof of the hotel because they have a hotel balcony. I will climb up on the roof and I'll look at the Chicago skyline. And I will be humbled because my hard work got me there. My 14-year-old son is going with me. And I'm going to take him up on that roof. And I'm going to say, look at that skyline. That's from hard work. And the next morning, we're going to get up and walk 2.5 blocks to the beach of Lake Michigan. And me and my son are going to go for a run. Not just because I drove up there and wanted to do it, because I worked hard to get up there and go for it. See, for years, I let people tell me I couldn't do it. I used to be afraid of people saying, well, are you sure you want to do that? Or afraid of someone putting me down. You're always going to have that. But what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do? My goals is to become a successful children's book writer. I want to have people standing in lines at bookstores waiting for a signature on a book. And I want to be totally grateful to them for buying that book, knowing that their son or daughter is going to read the book and they're going to stretch their imagination. And whatever you want to do, it doesn't have to be writing, but whatever you want to do, you've got to make it about being humble and grateful to others and giving to others. See, I have five things that I believe in myself on. And it's a series that I go around and I speak to other high school students and junior high kids. And just to give you a rough go around of it, the number one thing, I believe in myself. Number two, I have a strong work ethic. Number three, I know what I want. And number four, I'm willing to take constructive criticism. I'm willing to take non-constructive criticism to get out there and make it work. And number five, I'm willing to always give back, even if it's something simple as a hug and a thank you or a handshake. Making others feel valued because they are from me. That's how I've gotten here. It's not because I've hit the snooze button and stayed in bed for 4 hours, or I got up at noon. It's not because I sat around and hoped that I'd win the lottery, or that my parents would help me in some surprise way that I didn't know about. It's about getting out there and doing it. I could sit here right now and say, God, I'm going to Chicago, and man, I'm just going to waste my time, and oh, they're not going to like my presentation, and well, nobody's probably going to help me. Or I can sit there and say, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to do the very, very best that I can do. I'm going to give 100%. And then when I get about to the point where I think I'm doing good, I'm going to kick it up a little bit more and go over 100%. Because I can always fail doing what I don't want to do. So I'm darn sure going to take a chance on doing something I love. And then the next day, if it's nothing, I get up and I go back to work. I get it done. And we go through this life one time. We're not guaranteed 80 or 100 years. We're not guaranteed 40. We're not guaranteed 20. We're only guaranteed the exact moment we are alive. 10 seconds from now, we're not promised. Why not live? I know people who were here a year ago, perfectly healthy, my age, young. They're not here today. I know people who've passed away. They're no longer here that have young families, young relationships. They're not here. So why put off, the old saying, put off to tomorrow what you can do today? You know, we're all worth so much more. And tomorrow night, as I get ready before my presentation, it's go time. It's time to define the moment before the moment defines me. Because I'm not okay with being mediocre. I'm not okay with being basic. This 500 square foot house that I live in right now is not the 500 square foot house I'm going to live in for the rest of my life. Because it's up here. I have a vision board that covers one whole wall in my kitchen. Covers one whole wall of everything that I'd want to experience, from a house to a car to paying for my kids' college to having long lines at book signings to places I'd like to travel to and visit with my children, experiences I'd like to have, images of giving to others. And I'm going to do it. And I'm not joking when I tell you that you can too. Because it's not some godlike, esoteric, elusive concept that only the super elite have. We're all promised it. But we're promised it only if we work tirelessly for it. Nothing's given to us. I'm just really caught up in emotion today because tomorrow I'm going to be heading with family up to Chicago because of hard work. And regardless of having any idea of what that outcome's going to be. You know, it's funny. I have this one really funny goal, and you're probably going to think it's funny, but I admire singer and television host Harry Connick Jr. And one of my goals is, as a writer, I'm going to become a guest on his talk show, Harry. I'm going to. It sounds crazy, but I can see it with everything inside of me. And I know that there'll be people in that audience who will hear my story and are going to be inspired. In turn, they're going to turn around and do something great that benefits society. How cool is that? So as I get off here and I get ready to go, right in the middle of packing, I'm getting everything together, tying up some loose ends. You know, your heart may be broken, your wallet may be empty, the roof over your head might have a leak or two. You know, you may feel alone. You know, as a writer, I felt alone a lot. And I got to be honest, you know, if you're sitting at home and you're feeling alone and you're saying, oh God, that's the reason I'm not motivated. I can honestly, I'll let in a little secret. Since I was a teenager, every single member of the opposite sex that I have made the first move on, I've been shut down. The relationships that I've had, I didn't make the first move. The marriages that I have, I didn't make the first move. Every time I have made the first move, I've been rejected. But at this point in my life, that's so trivial because I don't worry about that. And if that's the reason that you're not where you want to be, man, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and all of that stuff will come. You know, and don't rush. Don't rush to get in a marriage. Don't rush to move in with somebody. Don't plead every day before you go to bed, send somebody to my life. Thank your belief, whether it's God or nature or whatever. Thank your higher power just for having life. Thanks for living in a free country or wherever you are, that you're alive and you're healthy. If somebody would have told me 14 years ago, you're going to go to Chicago, you're going to speak before a very pristine children's literature group, I wouldn't have believed it. If someone would have told me in 2017 you're going to sell 1,000 books in under 4 months, I wouldn't have believed it. If people would have told me you're going to travel to elementary schools across the country and you're going to put in presentations for your work and you're going to incite and inspire children, I wouldn't have believed it. But I got in the game. Get up early. Read good books that stimulate your mind. Flood yourself with positive YouTube videos. I mean, my gosh, look up motivational speeches on YouTube and you'll have days and days worth of speeches that are just positive. And put yourself around people who really motivate you. I've got friends that are motivational speakers now. And I mean, some of these folks, man, they push me. They push me hard. And I love it. I love it. Because it keeps me moving faster than I would alone. Or if I was with the wrong group of people. And as I get ready to go, I gotta get back to what I was doing, but I wanted to stop for a minute because I felt like sharing this. No one's personal opinion of you has to become your reality. Right here is the difference between success and no success. I will succeed because I expect nothing less of myself. And I want you to succeed. I don't know you. I may not know you, but I want you to succeed. That's important. You'll get everything you want if you do everything to help others get what they want. I can't explain it, but it will happen. From all the things I said that I've went through, the broke, the homeless, the divorced, the hungry, losing children and losing family on the holidays, and all of that. Look where I am. I'm going to Chicago. In less than 24 hours, I will be almost in Chicago. Chicago invited me. That's called hard work. That's called success. And I'm going to leave my mark. And I'm going to inspire my son. Because he's going to see what happens when you work hard through hard times. Because it's not what people see when they're in front of you. It's who you are when no one sees you. If you see it, you can be it. And gosh, really, I just want this to connect with you. You know, no fancy music, no fancy video montages, just a straight video from the heart. I'm not there yet. I don't have a mansion. I don't have $1 million in my bank account. In fact, when I come home, I'll be flat broke. I will use up the very last bit of my credit card on this trip. And then I will have debt. But we're always going to have debt. I'll be flat broke with hardly any food when I come home. But the memories I'm going to bring home and the possibilities from giving this presentation that I want to do, unstoppable. And I don't mean this video for you if you're just writing. Doctor, teacher, lawyer, you want to start your own business, you want to go to cosmetology school, you want to be a mason, you want to run for mayor or city clerk somewhere. Do it. Because the worst thing you can do is be on your deathbed and have all the memories of things you didn't do coming and paying their respects, because they'll die with you. The richest place in the world is a cemetery. But we're not dead yet. So go out there and live and become part of an impactful life. I'm going to invite you right now over to Facebook. On Facebook Live, Levi B. Fox Books, September 14th, which time of making this video will be tomorrow, Thursday, 7 to 9 Chicago time, which is Central Standard Time in America. I know overseas that's a lot later, but I want to invite you. Come onto the page, Levi B. Fox Books. It's under Levi B. Fox, children's author. Check it out. Follow it and see what I'm passionate about. You'll get a bump up because you'll already know what the people in the audience don't know, what I've been through to get to that moment. So I want to invite you there. And more importantly, love to hear from you. Let me know if it's inspired you, because that's my goal. If I suck, tell me I suck, because I take that and I just grow even more. But regardless, go out there, live your life, and don't let anybody hold you back. So I got to get back to work, so we're going to go do this. Giddy up.